This is the place they say people come from far, far, far away to find their dreams, chasing down these meteors and comets called dreams in the sky of life.
Yo, what's Gucci, everybody? It's your boy ssjk-dots, the first Black Super Saiyan Warfare on him, and I'm back here with another video. I got a review for you guys. I just got out of watching Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 motherfucking Rings. Based off how I sound, I like this fucking movie, bro. I like this movie. I was supporting this movie day one. I knew it was gonna be something good. And this movie was good. Shit, epic. That third act, bruh. Shit was a live action motherfucking anime. I mean, they could have done more. I mean, let's be real, they could have done more. But shit, it's after close we're gonna get to a live action anime. Oh my gosh, Shang-Chi did that shit. This film, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Rings, I have to give this film, honestly, close to a 10 out of 10, but I'll give it a 9. I gotta give it a 9. I'll say this about the movie. This movie was very emotional. I like the message of this film. I like the message. This film is initially about family, like a lot of movies. But the way this movie deals with family is in a very different way. You have Shang-Chi. I call him Shang-Chi. I don't give the Shang-Chi shit. I'm calling him Shang-Chi. I'm just going to keep it simple for me. I'm not going to try and... You know, I might go back and forth for how I say the name. Shang-Chi, Shang-Chi's, whatever. You know, people can call him Shang-Chi for the longest. I'm just used to calling him Shang-Chi. So basically, Shang-Chi. He is the son of a crime lord, conqueror, immortal conqueror, the 10 Rings. So I wouldn't call him the Mandarin, just to let you guys know. Don't call him the Mandarin. Call him the 10 Rings. His father is the 10 Rings. The mother of Shang-Chi is very delicate, sweet, innocent, loving, nurturing, caring. The father, a lot tough, mean. He's a conqueror. I mean, he done some evil shit, you guys. He done some evil stuff to a lot of people. Assassinations, straight up executions on people and stuff. He's done a lot of bad things. It's basically a crime lord. If you that's really what he is. He's a crime lord. And what the message this film was trying to push. It was trying to push that Shang-Chi is his legacy. What's your legacy? You got to take the good and you got to take the bad. You got to take both of it and make it your own. Because Shang-Chi in this movie was very confused about who he wanted to be. Did he want to take after his mother more? Did he want to take after his father more? But nah, this film, by the end of it, he's like, I got to take a piece of both. And I got to make it my own thing. And he does that by the end of this film. I know you guys are wondering, what do I think about Awkwafina? You know what? A lot of parts of this movie she did not need to be in. Like, let's keep it real. But her character got better for me as the movie was going. There's a thing going on with her character in Shang-Chi specifically about them. They're both working as, what you would call them. The people who basically park your cars for you. Parking attendants or whatever. They're basically working a dead-end job and stuff. Mainly her. And her, Awkwafina's character, the mother, is like, you know, I want you to do more. You know, I'm kind of... She's not really happy with her daughter's dead-end job. But hey, it's a job. You gotta work. I mean, I wouldn't call it a dead-end job. I mean, you gotta work. You know, you're not gonna have a great, amazing job from jump. You gotta work up, get enough experience, and then you'll get a great job. So basically, her whole character arc was about taking a shot at something. Because when you get settled and you don't try to move up, you're going to be stuck with what you settled for. And there's a great moment in this movie where it gets tied in when you get to the end of the film. You know what? I'm just spoiled this shit. I don't even give a fuck. Later in the film, when they get to their mother's old village that she grew up in, Talo, and that, as I said in the trailers, Talo his mother's village that she grew up in a different dimension. So it's when they step into it, that's a whole different dimension. It's not on the same really the same universe. It's a different dimension, different universe. It's a different universe. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is epic, bro. You got a hidden universe. It's not like Wakanda that's hidden, but it's in the universe. Nah, they stepped into a portal in a totally different universe, bro. Full of magic. All this spiritual epic stuff. But let me get back to Awkwafina. In this film, she finally is looking for a purpose and something to gravitate to and something to give her more meaning in life. And there's this old woman who teaches her how to shoot a bow. And there's this guy who doesn't want her to shoot because, you know, he's like, all right, she's a rookie. I mean, you know, she just came in here. We don't know who she is. And then she was like, you know, I don't think this is a cut. This is really for me. The old lady told her, if you don't take the shot, then you're usually just going to miss. You know, you take the shot, give it a chance. And she did that, and oh my god, she had a great moment in this movie. And you guys, hey, Awkwafina kind of cute. I was looking, I was like, Awkwafina kind of cute. I ain't gonna lie. You know what? I like Awkwafina in this movie. I like her character. But mind you, another problem with her character, too much comedy. I get she's a comedian, too much comedy. And in this movie has the same problem that a lot of the MCU movies have, and they need to stop this shit because it's really hurting some of the emotional beats. When I want a serious film, you guys keep on messing it up with your fucking dumbass comedy. Like, it's getting annoying. Literally in this movie, and if y'all gonna tell me that this movie was not this, go watch the movie again, because this is what the movie was. Serious moment happened in the movie. A joke shows up right after. Serious moment happens. The characters get locked up in the prison. Oh, joke comes right after. Serious moment. Awkwafina's character is hanging on a bamboo stick about to fall to her death. And the sister grabs her. And then her and Shang-Chi start fighting these dudes. And then they make a joke. But that's the biggest problem with this movie. Is that it needs to stick with a tone. If this movie stuck to being more serious while still having a little bit of humor. You can have humor in small doses. But this movie should have been a lot more serious. Because with the story they was telling, they would have really benefited and stuff. But I will tell you this much. When you get to the third act, when you deal with the moments with the father, the flashbacks in this movie, when they talk about the mother, man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was getting a little bit teary-eyed and stuff. Like, the family stuff was really hitting me, bro. The family stuff was really hitting me. And the message about this film, you gotta take the good and you gotta take the bad, but you gotta make it your own thing. And I thought that was something a little powerful. I like that shit. I was like, cause that's life. You know, you don't know who you're gonna be born into. You don't know what your dad's gonna be. You don't know what your mom's gonna be. You don't know what their past is. But at the end of the day, and I'll explain it. Shang-Chi's father, in this film, I thought he was gonna be a straight up villain. He was a ruthless dude, but when he met Shang-Chi's mother, he learned to take that ruthlessness, all that brutality from all that brutal stuff, and just push it aside. Because the mother brought some heart out of him. He decided to set down his 10 rings for a couple years, you know, while he was with his wife and their son. You know, he disbanded his gang for a while. And, you know, it says, like, you know, you guys disperse. He changed his home from a training dojo for his gang into a home. Changed everything up. And, you know, the mother brought the good out of the father. And the mother had a heavy influence on the daughter and on Shang-Chi's sister and Shang-Chi. She turned that family into a beautiful, happy family because she brings nothing but beautiful, positive energy. And once the mother died, oh my gosh, bro, she was fucked up. So basically, the mother died because of the sins of the father, with the father's past. And I was like, god damn, shit. And you guys, so before Shang-Chi and Shang-Chi's father, the Ten Rings, and the mother met. The mother, when she stayed in Talo, she gained powers from the dragon, magical powers and stuff. They did like she had like some weird air bending powers and stuff. She was bending like the wind and stuff. And she was the only one who was able to combat the Ten Rings. Like, she was the only one to ever like officially defeat the father. Because he had a streak of not being beaten because he had these 10 rings. And basically, she was able to beat him. So she was basically his equal to an extent when it came to power and skill. So, and you know, he began to come back and learn, train, and he started to incorporate some of her style and stuff. And then, you know, something romantic happened. But back to what happened. The Iron Gang, a gang that felt disrespected by the Ten Rings for some past stuff he did, man, he went into their home. Bro, this nigga got like 30 niggas, and they beat the shit out of Shang-Chi's mother. I was like, what the fuck? Y'all niggas trash for that shit. They beat the dog shit out of her because she didn't have her powers. If she got her powers, she would have bodied him. But another thing I didn't like with that, and goes with bro, John Campea said this is like, I think John Campea said something on the line of, this is the action in this movie is like almost on the level of The Raid. Don't listen to that nigga John Campea because he's fucking lying. The Raid shows you every motherfucking thing. If they take a knife and stab somebody in the neck, you're gonna see that blood and all that stuff oozing out of his neck and stuff and his organs and shit. You're gonna see all that. In this movie, they do a lot of cutaways. They imply a lot of brutality and executions and stuff. It's a lot of implying. So, when you hear niggas like John Campea talking about this is like almost on the level of The Raid. This is like the best thing since The Raid. Nah, this is the best thing in other areas, but definitely not The Raid, bro. Not The Raid. Not action scenes. Not Asian cinema like that. No. Stop that shit. This is very much still MCU filled. You can feel that MCU formula in the shade, even the way they show the action. The mom literally got ganged up on by 30 dudes, and she got no blood stains on her. She got no bruises. I'm like, what? Bro. They literally showed the mom laid out on the ground. She got beat up by over 30 dudes. I'm not lying to you. Over 30 dudes. She had no blood stains. Her face wasn't bruised up and she wasn't stomped out. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm not a motherfucking kid. So when you hear niggas talking about this is on the level of The Raid, don't listen to them. This is good in other ways. The action sequences, phenomenal. They didn't do a lot of jump cuts. They really tried to do a lot of tracking shots. So if you see the one-way, the tracking shots where the camera will try to follow, in the way it was filming the action sequences, it was kind of doing like a 360 pan around of the sequences. Same thing what James Wan did in the Aquaman film with all the action sequences, did that 360 pan around, just following the action, not stopping. But there's one action scene at the beginning with the 10 rings that I thought was not good. It was too close up. Like, some of the action sequences in this, the camera is too close up. The camera's too close up. Now, the punches feel like they do connect in this movie. They do. Do not get me wrong. Simu Liu, I'm not sure if he was doing his own stunts, but if he was, you was doing a solid job, man. Because if you was doing your own stunts, you was doing some solid shit. But the choreography, this is the best choreography in the MCU since the Winter Soldier. I say it's fucking damn near better than the Winter Soldier. Because Shang-Chi in this movie, he's using pure martial arts. He doesn't have any superpowers. He doesn't get powers until he starts to get the Talo and learn his mother's technique. And then he gets the 10 rings from his father. And we'll talk about that soon. But this is not on the level of The Raid when it comes to raw action. Showing the brutality. Not being afraid to show, you know, if you going to show somebody take their finger and poke a nigga in the eye, and you see that eye come out, nah, this ain't on the level of The Raid, bro. So whenever people tell you this is on the level of The Raid, don't let them tell you that because they're lying. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Do not listen to them. Don't listen to them. But yeah, the The action is epic. It's epic. I mean, and it had to be because this is a action film, and we expected for it to be very action-packed and good, and it was good. It was good. And hey, I'm gonna say this: score in this movie, the soundtrack, a lot of hip hop and Chinese music in this film. Great mix of it all. Great mix of it all. Like, I'm remembering the score of the third act, man, and that shit was beautiful, man. That shit was beautiful, bro. The score was solid. I think this is just as good as like the Black Panther score. Very memorable. I would say it's very memorable because I want to watch this movie again, bro. I want to watch this movie again. And not a lot of MCU films have memorable scores that you remember, that you can just sing the jingle to. They don't got that shit. But Black Panther, and I think this movie, and I think upon second viewing, is going to have the second best score in the MCU. This score is really fucking good, bro. It's literally just beautiful Chinese music, man. And that shit sounds good, bro. It sounds fucking good. Oh my gosh, man. That shit is beautiful. And it incorporates some hip-hop, and it all works. It all works together, and I love it. Let me talk about my big thing, my other issue. Another issue. That Abomination cameo was fucking garbage. They did the Abomination dirty, and they did him wrong. They literally... So, if you go back to Incredible Hulk, the Abomination could talk. And he was not some just giant grunting being. So, basically, it seems like he's Savage Hulk. You know how he kind of grunts and he very barely talks? So the cameo was garbage. I'm gonna just say that much. He didn't need to be in this fucking movie. They tried to use him as a money shot, like, oh, we brought the Abomination back and changed the design. The only good thing they did was kind of change the design, but other than that, I preferred the Incredible Hulk design, because in this movie, this nigga was trash, bro. He knocked himself out. That was fucking garbage, bro. That shit is trash, and that's another problem with the MCU. They have a power scaling problem, and it's. I'll give it examples. Iron Man in Infinity War had a piece of a planet follow him, and this nigga got up. Niggas, you a god. The last time I checked, you a human. I know you got some nanosect armor, but your bones and shit should have been fucking crushed. You still a human at the end of the motherfucking day. A piece of a planet fell on you. Y'all know what happens when a piece of a planet hits another planet? Creates, a big fucking crater in the planet. It's gonna do some fucking damage. Kill a lot of people. Let me go to Endgame, for example. This nigga Thor had 2 motherfucking hammers, you guys. 2 hammers. Thanos had just a sword. No Infinity Stones. And Thor got beat the fuck up. This nigga had 2 fucking hammers. But in the previous film, he has 1 hammer that goes through a blast of 6 Infinity Stones and stabs Thanos in the chest. But he has 2 hammers and can't beat Thanos by himself with no stones. Then you get to something like, what if? Thanos getting beat up by his own Black Order. The same Thanos that beat up the Hulk in less than 30 seconds. The MCU has a bad power scaling problem, and they need to fix that shit. Because in this movie, this nigga Abomination punched himself and knocked himself out. Now, the fight with him and Wong was interesting. And it would have been better if I didn't find out at the end that these niggas was just friends. So Wong and Abomination are friends in this movie. They're cool with each other. Like, literally, they're after the fight, they're like, Wong is over here like, man, dude, what did we go over in our training, man? I told you gotta watch out for the stuff, man. I trained you better. And then Abomination and he's literally grunting. He's not even talking. He's like, like, what the fuck did you do to the Abomination, my nigga? What happened to continuity? What the hell? Abomination was so garbage in this movie. Like, why the fuck is he in here? You brought him in here just to cuck him the same way you did Hulk in Infinity War and Endgame? Because that's the problem with the MCU. They take all their OP characters, Vision, Thor, Abomination, even Thanos in the recent What If, and cut these fucking OP ass people. I hate that shit. They need to stop that shit. That shit is trash. It's honestly fucking garbage. Like, I don't like that shit. That shit is garbage. You got, like, at this point, just as a fan of the MCU, I recommend y'all root for the obviously weaker niggas. And when I give an example, root for your Hawkeyes, root for your Captain Americas, root for your Iron Mans, because they'll make sure these mortal weak niggas, oh, they're gonna make sure they're better than the other characters and doing cooler shit. You know, you like your Black Panther type of characters. You're very low level characters. The MCU has a problem with trying to balance out how to use very OP powerful people, and they need it. Even in Loki, they messed up Loki in Loki. He was getting beat up by Larry the Cable Guy, and y'all remember in episode 3, he was getting beat up by episode 2. Sylvie took over regular human people, and he was getting beat up by a fat Larry the Cable Guy nigga. This is the same Loki that fought Captain America, a super soldier 101, and beat him in Avengers 1. This is the same Loki that can also fight Thor and hang with fighting Thor from Thor 1 in Avengers 1. And he's getting beat up by Larry the Cable Guy. The MCU has a bad power scaling problem, and they need to fix that shit because it's honestly getting so noticeable that it's trash. The power scaling sucks. But characters like Shang-Chi and stuff, root for them because you'll know for sure they're going to be far superior and cooler than people like Hulk and all these other strong OP characters. Like when they bring in characters like it's another OP character, Magneto. Shit, they might find a way to cuck Magneto too. That nigga's OP as fuck. Shit, they gonna find a way to cuck your powerful characters. Shit, when we get Dark Phoenix again, oh, she gonna be kind of powerful. She ain't gonna be that powerful. She gonna be kind of powerful. They're gonna find a way to cuck her. But back to the good. This movie was freaking beautiful, man. Like I say, the rest of the action in the movie was good. What another moment I gotta talk about in this movie that was so good. I gotta talk about this. You guys, there's a moment in this movie where Shang-Chi leaves. His father didn't make him leave. He left on his own. So basically, those same people that came and killed the mother, they've been looking for the boss for years. Shang-Chi was first getting trained at the age of 7 when his mother died. And he saw his mother die. And by the time he was 14, 15, that's when they found the leader of the who sent those men to kill the mother. So the father told Shang-Chi, this is going to be your kill. You're going to kill him. You're going to get revenge for both of us. And he said this thing like blood for blood. It's like an eye for an eye, basically. And Shang-Chi Shang-Chi wanted to get revenge with his father to avenge his mother because he felt guilty about it and the dad felt guilty about it, even though it's really the dad's fault because the dad's past caught up to the family and took out the mother. But I'm not trying to place no blame on nobody. Really, it's the dad's fault. You know, it's the dad's fault. But that's just me being honest. But Shang-Chi had a sister, and his sister, oh my god, she was hot. God damn, she was hot. I'm sorry. She looked good. You know, she looked good. Hey, the Asian women in this movie was looking good, man. I ain't gonna lie, they was looking good. But the sister in Shang-Chi was able to train with the other people. The sister, while you know, I'm not sure if it's old Chinese tradition, couldn't train with the men. Now all of y'all can say, oh, you should none of this shit ain't SJW because this stuff is very real and true. You know, the way the father grew up, he's been alive for thousands of years. And he grew up in a male-dominated society where women probably was not allowed to come join the fighters in the battlefield or train with the men. You know, that's just what it was. So what the sister was doing, the sister was watching the men train and she had to practice and learn on her own, which is very doable. You can. She had to learn things on her own in secrecy. So basically, went back to it. When Shang-Chi had to go out and kill the person who killed their mother, the father trusted him with it. He gave him this dagger, told him, you know, eye for an eye. It's basically blood for blood. You go get him. And then come back home. He gave him 3 days. He left for 3 days. Never came back. The sister felt abandoned. And when he met up with the sister again, man, I'll be honest with y'all, I brought up some emotional stuff because, you know, he promised his sister that he would get them both out of there because they still was used to living under their mother and, you know, living a peaceful life, not this battle hardened life of training every day, you know, because he went through some brutal trainings, especially Shang-Chi. Those 3 days. And he actually did the deed. I wish they showed him killing the person. He said he did the deed, so he killed the person, but he never came back. Because at the end of the day, he wasn't his father. He was still gravitated to his mother a lot. And that's the case with a lot of boys when it comes to growing up. Like, you're going to gravitate to your mother a lot. Well, yes, you do gravitate to the father, but like the daughters, they gravitate to the father. And they want to be under the father, and the sons want to be, you know, the mama's boy. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. That's just how it is. That's what it is. And basically, there was a moment in this film where the sister almost resented her brother just a little bit. They didn't let it linger for too long because they started to work together, because they both realized it was both part of this plot and incorporated. And you know what? They gave Shang-Chi's sister a dude. Man, she was doing some epic shit in this movie. There was one part in this movie where the Great Protector, the dragon, came out while they was fighting the demons and everything, and she basically protected the Great Protector, and used this rope dart. It had a dragon scale on it. It had a dragon scale blade, and she knocked these demons off of the dragon's eye. And man, the dragon walked up to her and like literally accepted her for helping him out. And then she got to ride on the dragon the same way Shang-Chi got to ride on the dragon. And then by the end of the film, both of them riding on the dragon. And they're fighting this giant demon dragon, bruh. This like a giant wyvern or some shit. They're fighting a demon dragon. And then there's this moment where they're on the dragon. The giant dragon they're fighting is sucking the soul out of the good dragon, the Great Protector. And the sister wants Shang-Chi to save the dragon. And basically, he looks at his sister like, I'm not finna let her go this time. And he doesn't. He chooses to hold on to her. He takes the 10 rings, wraps it around her, grabs her, and then they go up there all together and they take down the Great Protector, take down this demon. And man, Shang-Chi, the acrobats and stuff, he was moving around and jumping with their 10 rings and shit. And then he did this, he did this move. He shot the 10 rings into the creature's mouth, and then he started like mixing that shit up, started cooking shit in the oven, and then boom, blew it up and destroyed the demon. I was like, oh my gosh, this shit is it was the visual porn, bro. I was like, bro, I was literally in the theater beating my meat, dog. And a lot of people was looking. I was beating my meat. This shit was some good porn. I was like, bruh, I was leaking. I was literally leaking out my undies. I'm sorry, I was leaking. What else can I talk about this movie, man? This movie was tight, nigga. But mind you, my biggest issue with this movie is really just the Abomination cameo. It was shit, trash, garbage, dookie, garbage fucking cameo. Why the fuck you put him in the movie? Trash cameo. They disrespected Abomination. This nigga knocked himself out, bruh. Ugh. Imagine seeing Hulk knock himself out with his own fucking fist, bruh. This is the same Abomination I was beating the dog shit out the Hulk, and the Hulk had to get a chain and choke him out just to beat Abomination. Hulk couldn't even beat him with his own bare fist. He had to get a chain. While Abomination was wrecking that dude in with his with his bones and shit coming out. You know what? I preferred the bone design. I don't know why this nigga got fins and shit. I know why they did it, because they want to give him a comic accurate design. So basically, they sacrificed giving him a comic accurate design, but not making him comic accurate powerful. You know? He literally knocked himself out. Shit was garbage. My next issue, the comedy and shit. Bro, I get it. You want him to have a fun movie and make it comedic. That's cool. But there's literally a scene in this movie where these niggas is fighting on a bus. A great action sequences, by the way. They took a lot of tips from how Jackie Chan does action sequences. Oh my gosh. There's this dumb fat nigga on the bus, right? This dude is over recording the fight. Hey guys, I took some karate, man. Let me critique this fight. He was live streaming it. He was like this. Man, this was man. I used to take karate, man, so I'm gonna critique this shit, man. This dumb fat nigga. Bruh. This is my issue with how you do your tone and when people take stuff serious. And Awkwafina is part of the problem. Sometimes the sister and sometimes Shang-Chi. You should have stuck with a more serious vibe for this movie. Characters should have took a lot more stuff serious. Because I swear to y'all, the bus is ripping in half and this dumb nigga is still on the bus fucking recording the bus. I'm like, nobody's doing that. I get it. We live in a generation where people film, you know, shit going down. Like, let's say there's a fight. Two people fighting, right? But when the guns come out, people are going to start running. When car crashes start happening, people are not going to stand there and say, oh my gosh. I get it. We live in a generation where people will record anything. But that's if it's minimal. You ain't finna have somebody on a bus and is literally about to crash and they're recording it. Oh my gosh, you guys, oh! That's stupid. Because he's not going to be worried about the phone. He's going to be worried about his own freaking life at that point. Now, if it was like two homeless people fighting in the street, I mean, yeah, I understand they're going to record it. Because, you know, the chances of you getting hurt is very minimal. Oh, you see some dude butt naked in the street, you're going to record it. Because the chances of you getting hurt is very minimal. But that's one of the issues with this movie, you guys. And that's the MCU. It does it in almost all the movies. Iron Man 2. Like, there's literally a scene in Iron Man 2 where, if y'all remember the scene on the racetrack, when Tony's trying to get the suitcase, and Happy keeps on backing up, back and forth, He's trying to get the suitcase, and it's literally a moment for comedy. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit, man? Can y'all take some shit serious for once? Like, what the fuck? It's annoying. They keep on doing this. That's why I talk about when people say there's an MCU formula, it's an MCU motherfucking formula. While this movie does feel like an Eastern Asian film, I mean, not just because the cast, it feels like an Asian, feels like Asian people came together and made this movie. Very mystical. The score, the soundtrack, and oh my god, beautiful. But the tone in this film should have been a lot more serious. Now, I understand Asians, ever noticed from Japanese content and Chinese content, or even Korean dramas and stuff, they have their own way of comedy and stuff. But this movie could have been really different. You know, and shit like Eternals is going to have the same exact problem. It's going to have the same exact problem. I think Black Widow took it, like, really tried to keep it very serious. But when you have dumb niggas like her dad going around like, it's still fish. It's like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, come on. Pick some shit. I'm not saying you be like fucking Zack Snyder Justice League all dark and shit. I'm not saying be that. I'm not saying be BVS. But you can be like the Dark Knight or some shit. The Dark Knight PG-13, but that's that's a very serious film. Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises. They're not edgy, but they're serious. You know, this movie could have really benefited being a very serious film. But the one thing I say, this movie is a lot of the emotional moments. Guys, there's a moment in this movie where Shang-Chi's father blames him for the death of the mother, right? And in this movie, the father's not really a villain. He doesn't really become a villain until he's a ruthless bad dude, right? But in this movie, he's not the villain of the movie. He was misguided. So basically, the 10 rings is linked to something even more powerful. Basically, the 10 rings is a beacon. It's a beacon, and it's a beacon, and someone is sending a signal to these rings somewhere. They explain when I get to the post credits scene, I'll explain it. So basically, these rings was calling to the giant demon dragon, and the demon dragon, it wasn't calling to the demon dragon, it was calling to something bigger. But the demon dragon was using it to trick the father, to make the father think like the village that the mother grew up in took her and is basically and it's just basically holding her captive, keeping her from the father, Shang-Chi, and the sister. So basically, Shang-Chi and the sister's like, yo, dad, mom is dead. Like, they all saw her die. But for some reason, he believes that she is there at Tallow because he's getting messages from the 10 rings, because the 10 rings is linked to the evil behind that wall in this other dimension, this universe. So basically, he comes to find out that he unleashed some great evil, and he tries to stop it and protect his son. But he fails, he loses, he gets stopped. And the son, Shang-Chi, is like, oh my dad. He's like, he want to save his dad. He doesn't want his dad to die. That's still his freaking father. Because there's a moment in this film where he was going to kill his father and basically took the same teachings his father took. Eye for an eye, blood for blood. He sucked up all the 10 rings, about to do this like Kamehameha blast. And he dropped the rings. So I'm not finna kill my father. I'm not finna be like that. My mother would be disappointed in me if I did that shit. And what the father did, the father protected his son from the giant dragon demon, gave him the 10 rings, whoosh, put it on his son. And like I said, the message of this movie, man, you gotta take the good, you gotta take the bad. You take the good and bad for both of your situation. You take it, you make your own new thing out of it. He took his mother's teachings, his father's teachings, put it together. Now he became one of the best fighters of the MCU. Shang-Chi, man, this dude's gonna be tight. Like, I honestly want to see him, like, he's obviously gonna have a bigger role since he has these 10 rings. Because these 10 rings are, like, very important. Like, Infinity Stone level important, I would say. But mind you, since we're in this multiverse era of Phase 4 to 6, like, you got Kane coming. What else is coming? You got Doctor Strange and Wanda and shit. You got Doctor Strange doing a spell for Spider-Man that could create some damage in the multiverse. It's a lot going on. To be honest, I think it's a little bit too much. I'm trying to see how all this is going to, like, make sense in the end. But you have Doctor Strange possibly messing up the multiverse, trying to keep Spider-Man's identity a secret. You have this whole shit with Shang-Chi and the Legend of 10 Rings, and the 10 Rings being important to the universes and the multiverse and stuff now. And they're a beacon to something. And then you have Wanda, who's possibly going to be who will be a villain in Multiverse of Madness and maybe break the multiverse even more. And then you have Sylvie killing the Kangs and creating more Kangs. Like, this is a lot. I wish it was just one direct way of how the multiverse is splitting and shit. Like, you have Doctor Strange doing shit that he shouldn't be doing. You have Wanda possibly coming Multiverse of Madness to make the multiverse even worse. Like, I don't know. I think I should really dial it back. It's like, you got too much shit going on with how you're trying to break your multiverse and shit. You stop. Keep it simple. Like, one or two simple reasons of why it breaks. They have so much going on. I wouldn't be surprised if in the Marvels they say, Miss Marvel breaks the multiverse by doing this. Like, come on now, y'all doing too much. Chill with all these reasons of why you're breaking the multiverse. So I think all of it's going to just implode on itself, and really, it may not go anywhere, or they try to retcon a lot of stuff. But we'll see. Shang-Chi and the Legend of 10 Rings. I give this movie a 9 out of 10. Oh yeah, what else? Oh, the post-credit scene real quick. Bruh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So that is post-credit scene, right after the end credit scene. Like I say, this movie should have ended on a more serious note. It ended really goofy, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it ended goofy. What happened to secrecy in the MCU? Like, can these niggas have secret identities and shit? What the fuck is going on? Oh my gosh. Dude, this dude Wong came looking for Shang-Chi. He basically created a portal inside this very public restaurant around all these people. And so I'm like, dude, you couldn't do this in a more secret place? What happened to secrecy, secret identities and stuff? These dudes doing all their business out in front of the public and stuff. Like, come on, what happened to secrecy? Damn, have a secret identity at once. None of these characters have secret identities in this MCU no more. Like, it doesn't feel like, you know, that authentic superhero stuff. No secret identities, but whatever. Wong just publicly goes into an open restaurant, opens up a portal. He could have waited any other time, but he tells Shang-Chi and Awkwafina's character come inside the portal. They talk to Captain Marvel, and they talk to Hulk, Bruce Banner. He's not in his Hulk form. He's Bruce Banner again. And his arm is... Oh my fucking god. Bro. Oh my fucking god. They seriously ruined the Hulk. This nigga's arm is still fucking broken. I'm like, oh my gosh. He has the fucking string on and shit. They fucked up the Hulk again, bro. He's supposed to heal. My gosh, they fucked up the Hulk. These niggas don't know what they doing with their OP characters. They keep on finding ways to fuck them up and cuck them and make them weak as shit. They just did it to Thanos in What If Episode 3. He got beat up by the fucking Black Order. His minions. And this is supposed to be the same dude that can beat up the Hulk. Missing with that bullshit. So his arm is still fucked up. Trash. But basically that's in the post-credit scene. They talk about how the rings is a beacon, and someone is calling to it, and they're going to try and figure out who's calling to these rings and telling them to come. Basically, Wong just said Awkwafina and these characters are going to be like a big part of the MCU, blah blah blah. Basically introducing Shang-Chi to the MCU, the Avengers, and whatever. And a very serious moment at the end where Wong has and I like Wong do that very serious, mysterious voice, like, your life is forever changed. So I'd say start getting used to it. I should go home, get some rest, because we got some work to do. And then these niggas Shang-Chi and Awkwafina, so I say the comedy issue, the MCU need to stop this shit. They're like, yeah, damn, this is some really heavy shit. Fuck. We should just go home. I would have been better off with them just going home. You end the post-credit scene on a very serious note. Even their post-credit scenes is played with MCU tonal comedy issues that they don't know how to do. So basically, they're like, oh man, yeah, you're right. Fuck. Alright, we could rest, but we can go do karaoke. Yay! Then you got fucking Wong, Awkwafina, and Shang-Chi doing karaoke. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? What is this? The MCU has a tonal problem. They have a problem with tone, knowing how to... This is why I say it's almost comedy at times, right? It's almost comedy at times. And you know what? There's some other movies that are the victim of this too, that do it too. When the MCU, they do it for almost majority of all their movies, bro. It happens every single fucking movie. Almost all of them. And it happens in Shang-Chi. And him and Wong and them all doing karaoke. Yay, karaoke, yay. I'm like, bro, are you serious? You could have kept that to yourself. End this on a serious fucking note, man. Like, you had enough comedy in the movie. Oh, you hit it with more comedy, more all that stuff. I'm okay with comedy. But when you do it too much, and it deviates from a lot of things, and messes up scenes that should have hit harder, then y'all got an issue with that shit. But at the end of the day, this movie is still a 9 out of 10. Really, only issue is the comedy, and the Abomination cameo was fucking garbage. Trash. But this movie, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Motherfucking Ten Rings, lit, bro. Go check out this movie. Go watch it in theaters. This is the first movie I've seen in theaters since 2020, since Sonic in theaters. This is the first movie I've seen since Sonic in theaters. This is theater worthy. I'm glad I went back. I was entertained. Awkwafina surprised me because she was not as annoying as I thought. She kind of cute. Awkwafina, you kind of cute. I ain't gonna lie. You know, you got a little bit of, you wear the right pants, you got a little bit of cake going on. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the sister. Oh, Shang-Chi said, oh my god. Oh, oh god. Shang-Chi auntie, bruh. Oh my god. Oh, the auntie Monica, bruh. I swear I seen an auntie before. I think she was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I'm not sure, but I seen her a lot. Bro, Shang-Chi auntie was a baddie, bro. She was looking good. Shang-Chi mama, bro. Oh, she. The Asian women in this movie was beautiful. Shout out to the Asian women. Y'all beautiful. Y'all beautiful. Y'all beautiful, man. That was beautiful. But hey, the Asian community, go support this motherfucking movie. I need to see y'all showing out. The same way as black people showed out for Black Panther, I need y'all in the theaters. Get y'all butts in theaters. I support this motherfucking movie, Shang-Chi. You know, same way y'all supported Black Panther. The same way I supported this movie for Shang-Chi, I want y'all to support it because I want this shit to be big too. Go out there and support this shit. And all the people talking about Shang-Chi is SJW. Ain't no SJW shit in this motherfucking movie. And I know people may pick at that last scene where the sister is now running temper. I have my own issue with that. I don't like that the sister's doing that because the mother would be very disappointed in that unless the organization is going to be for good. If it's going to be for bad stuff, then that doesn't make any sense because literally both the sister and brother went on a journey for good. Both of them should have been good by the end of this movie. But also the sister had a need to also build an empire for some reason. But like, you just wanted to get away from your father the same as your brother. So it's like, why do you want to build an empire? Because the journey they go on for both of them doesn't. If the organization with the 10 rings she's gonna do now is gonna be an evil organization. If the 10 rings is gonna be an evil organization now, no. That does not go with the character development of the sister in this movie. It doesn't. Because when you get to Ta Lo with both of them, and both of them team up on the dragon together, and then the brother fulfills his promise again to not leave her again, I don't see her becoming evil. That shit don't make no sense to me, bro. Unless the 10 Rings is going to be a good organization that's peacekeepers. But I think people who hate SJW stuff, mind you, I don't like some SJW shit either. But that last post-credit scene, definitely not SJW. Because in Ta Lo, the auntie taught her that, you know, the men and women here, they both train together. And she just wanted to incorporate that with her 10 rings because her father wouldn't let her train. So she has now men and the women training together. So I wouldn't say it's SJW because the way the 10 rings, not the Mandarin, he's not Mandarin, the 10 rings grew up in this movie. He came from an old Asian culture. He's been alive for thousands of years, guys, like ancient times and shit. He's been alive for I would say around medieval times. He's been alive for a long time. Probably as long since he's probably born around the time the Great Wall of China was being built. I don't know. He was alive for a long time. He's mixed that culture where, you know, women couldn't really do a lot. That's just what it was. And he's going to live like that. You know, expect him to change. But that's just what it is. This movie is beautiful. Very emotional. Enjoyed myself. I love this shit. Oh my god. Shouts out to Murray. Hey, they got a new mascot. I think this shit cuter than Baby Yoda. When y'all see the mascot in this movie, I think this shit might be cuter than Baby Yoda, dog. Man, that nigga had no head and shit. It looked like a big ass like dookie ball. Like some chocolate and shit. It was like it had 4 feet, wings and shit. I was like, oh, it's so cute, man. Oh, it's so cute. Bro, it was cute, man. It had no face and shit. I'm not sure if that thing had any, like booty or anything, but it was cute. It was making these weird sounds like bro, this thing was making these weird sounds and stuff. He was talking to Ben Kingsley, the Mandarin. You will never see me coming. The Mandarin from Iron Man 3, he's back. So they basically did, I said this in the trailer on Ashley's channel. The Mandarin, the 10 Rings, captured Benny Kingsley for appropriating and disrespecting his name. But basically, Ben Kingsley, the Mandarin from Iron Man 3, Trevor saved himself by, you know, being a goofball and acting like a jester and giving a fun performance. And the 10 Rings only kept him around because he's, you know, good for entertaining his soldiers and stuff. That's it. So basically been trapped and locked away in the Mandarin's palace for these past couple years. And he was very funny in this movie. The comedy with him was handled a lot better than with Awkwafina. There's literally a scene in this movie where he's playing dead, and then Murray, I think that's his name, Murray. Oh, I think the little cute furball thing, Murray. He walks over to him, starts poking at him, like, "No, are you okay?" And then he's like, "Man, I'm okay, but play dead. Shit, everything, play dead." And then the thing just plays dead. They both played dead. I was like, man, this shit cute, man. But yeah, that thing was cute. I think that thing might be cuter than Baby Yoda. I'm forgetting one more thing. The mythical creatures, oh my gosh. This was based off of some old Chinese, like, drawings. You know, just a lot. Like the details in the creatures. You had like a 9-tailed fox and shit. You had these horses, and if you look at the art and stuff, like man, the mythical creatures in this movie is good. Some CGI look funny, but the creatures in this movie beautiful. Shit, Talo, I don't know, man. I might want to go there over Wakanda, man. You got all them beautiful animals and stuff, luscious green grass, just basic, simple stuff. It's not too futuristic. It's just simple. There's a giant dragon that lives in the water, and it's peaceful, bruh. You can ride on the dragon, and the dragon won't eat you, bro. Like, it's a cool dragon and shit, and it gives you powers. Man, this movie was tight, dog. This movie was tight. Shouts out to Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Ring. I had to end this review. I'm finally going to end it. Hope you guys enjoyed. It's your boy K-Dot, the first Black Super Saiyan in the world. I'm saying about peace, love, positivity, and all that jazz, and don't do drugs. And deuces.
What'd you do? What'd you do?